There are moments in life when everything feels heavy. You wake up exhausted even after sleeping. You smile in front of people while carrying pain nobody understands. Deep inside, you wonder if things will ever change. But today, this message is for you. Jesus Christ sees every silent battle you fight, every tear you hide, every night you stayed awake asking God for strength. The world may not notice your struggle, but heaven does. You are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, and you are not fighting alone. Sometimes God allows difficult seasons because He is building a stronger version of you. The pain was not meant to destroy you. The delay was not meant to break you, it was preparing you. Right now, even if you cannot see it, God is working behind the scenes. Doors are opening that you never expected. Blessings are being prepared that you cannot yet imagine. The enemy whispered that your story was over, but God says your greatest chapter is still ahead. Do not give up now. Do not lose faith because of temporary pain. Some of the strongest people are born in the hardest seasons. Gold is refined through fire and strong faith is built during storms. One day you will look back at this difficult chapter and realize God was carrying you the entire time. Your tears were not wasted. Your prayers were not ignored. Your struggle has purpose. And maybe this message found you today because God wanted to remind you that breakthrough is closer than you think. Stay strong. Keep believing. Keep praying because the same God who made a way before will make a way again. You may feel tired of waiting, tired of praying for answers that seem delayed, tired of hoping for change while nothing around you looks different. But never mistake silence for absence. Just because God is quiet does not mean He is not working. Jesus Christ is moving in ways you cannot yet see. Right now, while you are worrying about tomorrow, God is already standing in your future preparing the path ahead. Some battles had to happen because they revealed strength you never knew you had. Some doors had to close because they were leading you away from your purpose. And some delays happened because God knew you were not ready for the blessing yet. Imagine receiving everything you asked for before your character was strong enough to handle it. God cares more about who you are becoming than temporary comfort. That is why some seasons feel painful. They are transforming you. The pressure is building wisdom. The struggle is building endurance. The waiting is building faith. One day people will look at your life and see strength, but they will never fully understand the nights you cried alone asking God to help you continue. They will see the victory but not the battle behind it. Yet through every difficult moment, God never left your side. Even when you doubted yourself, He still believed in you. Even when you felt weak, He was carrying you. Your current situation is not permanent. This storm will not last forever. Keep moving forward even if the steps are small. Keep praying even when you feel discouraged. Keep believing even when fear tries to speak louder than faith. Because suddenly at the moment you least expect it, everything can change. One opportunity, one breakthrough, one answered prayer can completely transform your life. And when that moment arrives, you will understand why God told you to hold on just a little longer. The greatest battle in your life may not be around you. It may be happening inside your mind. Every day fear whispers that you are not good enough. Failure reminds you of your mistakes. Doubt tells you that your dreams are too big and your strength is too small. But today you need to stop listening to the voice that keeps trying to destroy your confidence. Jesus Christ did not create you to live in fear. He created you with purpose, with value, and with a future greater than your current struggle. The enemy wants you to focus on everything that went wrong, while God wants you to remember how far you have already come. You survived seasons that should have broken you. You made it through nights when you felt completely alone. You kept going even when your heart was tired and your spirit felt weak. That is not failure, that is proof of strength. Stop comparing your journey to other people. Some people bloom quickly while others grow slowly in hidden places before the world ever notices them. God is not rushing your story because He is building something deeper inside you. Every challenge is teaching you endurance. Every disappointment is teaching you wisdom. Every painful moment is shaping the person you are becoming. One day you will realize that the struggle was preparing you for the blessing. So stop speaking defeat over your future. Stop believing that your mistakes are bigger than God's grace. Your past does not disqualify you from your destiny. God can still use broken people. He can still restore damaged hearts. He can still open doors nobody expected. And if you keep trusting Him, the same pain that almost destroyed you will become the testimony that inspires someone else to keep going. Today is not the end of your story. It is only the chapter where God begins changing everything. Nobody talks enough about the silent battles people fight every day. The pressure to stay strong. The fear of failing. The exhaustion of carrying pain while pretending everything is fine. Some people are smiling in public while breaking apart in private. And maybe that person is you. But hear this clearly today, your pain is not invisible to God. Jesus Christ understands every heartbreak, every disappointment, and every moment you felt abandoned. He knows what it feels like to be rejected, misunderstood, and betrayed. That is why you should never believe the lie that God does not care about your suffering. Sometimes the hardest seasons come right before the biggest breakthrough. The pressure you feel today may be preparing you for a future you cannot yet understand. Diamonds are created under pressure. Gold is refined through fire, and strong faith is built in difficult seasons. Right now, life may not make sense. You may be asking God why things had to happen this way, why certain people walked away, why opportunities disappeared, why prayers seemed delayed. But one day you will look back and realize that God was protecting you from things that were not meant for your future. Closed doors are not always punishment. Sometimes they are protection. Sometimes God removes distractions because He sees what you cannot see. The pain that almost broke you may actually become the reason someone else finds hope through your story. Your scars are proof that you survived, and survival is powerful, so do not give up during this chapter of your life. Keep walking even when the road feels difficult. Keep believing even when fear speaks loudly. Keep praying even when answers feel delayed, because God is still writing your story. And the next chapter may be greater than anything you imagined. Faith is not believing that life will always be easy. Faith is trusting God even when everything around you feels uncertain. It is choosing to keep moving forward when fear tells you to stop. It is praying when you feel weak. It is believing in hope when darkness surrounds your life, and that kind of faith has power. Jesus Christ said that even faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. Think about that for a moment. God never asked you to be perfect. He never asked you to have all the answers. He only asked you to trust Him one step at a time. Some of the greatest miracles begin when people refuse to quit during difficult seasons. Right now you may feel like your prayers are unheard. You may feel like nothing is changing, but never underestimate what God is doing behind the scenes. While you are waiting, He is working. While you are struggling, He is strengthening you. While you are crying, He is preparing blessings that will arrive at the right time. The enemy wants you discouraged because he knows what could happen if you fully believed in God's promises. Imagine what your life could become if you stopped doubting yourself and started trusting God completely. Imagine the peace that would enter your heart if you truly believe that God is in control even during chaos. Fear makes people surrender too early, but faith gives people the strength to continue. Do not allow temporary pain to convince you that your future is ruined. Your story is still being written, your breakthrough is still possible, and one moment with God can change everything. One answered prayer can open doors nobody thought possible. One season of faithfulness can completely transform your life. So keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting God even when you cannot see the full picture yet, because sometimes the greatest blessings arrive after the hardest battles. And the same God who carried you before will carry you again. There were moments when you thought you would never recover. Moments when the pain felt too deep, the pressure felt too heavy, and the future looked completely uncertain. You smiled in front of people while silently fighting battles nobody knew about. You carried disappointment, heartbreak, fear, and exhaustion all at once. Yet somehow, through every difficult season, you are still here, and that means something. Jesus Christ placed a strength inside you that the world cannot destroy. The enemy tried to convince you that you were weak, but surviving everything you went through proves otherwise. Some people would have quit already. Some people would have surrendered to fear. But even after all the nights you cried alone, all the times you doubted yourself, and all the moments you felt emotionally exhausted, you kept moving forward. That is strength. Never confuse exhaustion with failure. Strong people get tired too. Strong people have moments where they feel broken, but they continue anyway. And today, God wants you to remember how far you have already come. You survived days you once thought would destroy you. You overcame battles that once seemed impossible. You made it through storms that almost took away your peace. Do not forget that. Sometimes we become so focused on what is still missing that we forget the miracles God has already done in our lives. The fact that you are still standing is proof that God has been carrying you even when you did not realize it. And if He brought you through the past, He will lead you through the future too. This difficult season will not last forever. Pain has an expiration date. Fear does not have the final word. Your current struggle is only temporary, but the strength God is building inside you will last for years. So do not give up now. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. One opportunity, one blessing, one answered prayer could completely change your life. Keep trusting God, keep believing in your purpose, because the story God is writing through your life is far from over. Maybe life did not turn out the way you expected. Maybe you trusted people who walked away. Maybe you prayed for opportunities that never came. Maybe you gave your best effort and still ended up disappointed. Pain like that can make a person feel hopeless. Can make you question your worth, your future, and even your faith. But today you need to remember something powerful. God is still able to restore what was lost. Jesus Christ specializes in rebuilding broken lives. Nothing is too damaged for His power, not your heart, not your dreams, not your future. Sometimes people believe that because they failed in the past, they no longer deserve a better future. But God's grace is bigger than your mistakes. Your worst season does not define your entire story. God can take pain and turn it into purpose. He can take rejection and use it as redirection. He can take broken moments and create something beautiful from them. Think about how many times life forced you to become stronger. The heartbreak taught you wisdom. The loneliness taught you how to depend on God. The struggle taught you endurance. Even the painful chapters carried lessons that prepared you for where you are going next. Some things had to fall apart because they were not part of your destiny. Some people had to leave because they could not go where God is taking you. And even though it hurt, God was protecting your future in ways you could not understand at the time. One day you will realize that every closed door pushed you closer to the right one. So stop mourning everything you lost and start trusting what God is building now. Your future is still full of possibility. New opportunities are coming. New peace is coming. New strength is coming. The chapter you are living right now is not the end. It is only preparation for the blessing ahead. Keep believing even when life feels uncertain. Keep trusting God even when answers are delayed. Because restoration is possible and your best days may still be ahead of you. Some of you have been waiting for a breakthrough for a very long time. You prayed, you stayed patient, you kept believing, but deep inside you started wondering if your moment would ever come. Meanwhile, you watched other people succeed. You watch doors open for them while your own life felt stuck in the same place. And if you are honest, sometimes it hurt. Sometimes you question why your journey seemed harder and longer than everyone else. But today God wants you to understand this. Delayed does not mean denied. Jesus Christ has not forgotten your prayers. Every tear you cried in private, God saw it. Every silent prayer whispered late at night, God heard it. Every moment you almost gave up but kept going anyway, heaven noticed it. Just because your blessing has not arrived yet does not mean it is not coming. Some seasons are preparation seasons. God is building your character before He releases your calling. Because if the blessing arrives before the person is ready, the blessing can become destruction instead of purpose. That is why waiting seasons matter. They teach patience, they build wisdom, they strengthen faith, and while you are focused on what has not happened yet, God is focused on who you are becoming through the process. Never compare your timeline to someone else. Everybody's journey is different. Some people bloom early while others grow slowly beneath the surface before the world finally sees the results. But growth is still happening even when nobody notices it. Your current season is not permanent. Things can change suddenly. One opportunity can transform your future. One connection can open a door you never expected. One blessing from God can completely change your life. So do not allow discouragement to control your heart. Do not let temporary delays destroy eternal hope. Keep praying, keep working, keep trusting God even when progress feels slow, because your season is coming. And when God finally opens the right door for your life, nobody will be able to close it. This is the moment where many people give up. Right before the breakthrough, right before the answered prayer, right before life begins to change. The pressure becomes heavy, the waiting becomes painful, and the mind becomes filled with doubt. That is why so many people stop too early. They walk away before seeing what God was about to do in their lives. But today, you cannot quit. Jesus Christ did not bring you this far to abandon you now. Every battle you survived proves that God has been protecting you all along. Think about everything you already overcame. The heartbreak that almost destroyed your peace. The nights you cried yourself to sleep. The moments when fear told you there was no future left for you, yet somehow you are still standing. That is not an accident. That is evidence of God's strength working through your weakness. The enemy wants you exhausted because exhausted people stop believing. They stop praying. They stop fighting for their purpose. But God is calling you to rise again, not tomorrow, not someday in the future. Today, you cannot allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions about your destiny. Your current pain is not the final chapter of your life. There is still purpose ahead of you. There are still blessings you have not seen yet. There are still people who will one day be inspired by the story of how you refuse to give up. Sometimes the greatest victories happen after the hardest battles. Sometimes God waits until the final moment so you fully understand that the breakthrough came from Him and not from human strength alone. So keep moving forward even if the steps feel small. Keep praying even when answers seem delayed. Keep believing even when fear speaks louder than faith. Because one moment with God can change everything. One breakthrough can erase years of struggle. One open door can lead you into the life you have been praying for. Hold on a little longer. Your story is not over yet. If you are hearing this message right now, maybe it is not by accident. Maybe God wanted to remind you one last time that you are loved, chosen, and never alone. Life may have tested you in ways people will never fully understand. You fought battles in silence. You carried pain behind your smile. You survived moments where you felt completely exhausted emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Yet through every storm, you are still here. And that alone is proof that God has been holding you together even when you felt like falling apart. Jesus Christ never promised that life would be easy, but He promised that He would never leave you. And even in your darkest season, God was still working behind the scenes. Every delay had a reason. Every closed door had a purpose. Every painful moment was shaping the person you are becoming today. One day you will look back and realize that what almost broke you actually made you stronger. The tears taught you compassion, the struggle taught you endurance, the waiting taught you faith, and the pain taught you how to depend on God in a deeper way. Do not be ashamed of your scars. Scars are proof that you survived. They are reminders that the enemy tried to destroy you and failed. And now God is about to use your story to inspire others who are fighting battles of their own. The chapter you are living now is not the end of your story. Better days are coming, peace is coming, healing is coming, restoration is coming. The prayers you whispered when nobody was around were heard in heaven. God has not forgotten a single one of them. So keep trusting Him even when life feels uncertain. Keep believing even when fear tries to return. Keep walking forward even when progress feels slow. Because suddenly, when the time is right, God can change everything. One blessing can erase years of struggle. One breakthrough can transform your future forever. And when that day comes, you will understand why God asked you to hold on through every difficult season. Your life still has purpose, your future still has hope, and your story is still being written by the hands of God.